Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me live on StreamYard, on Facebook. Having a little problem with LinkedIn, so I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and StreamYard. It's a pleasure to have you all here and welcome you. I already have a lot of questions that came in overnight, so thank you for those. And all I'd love to do here this morning is introduce you to what is positive intelligence, or as I moniker it, mental fitness. It literally is, without surgery, rewiring how you think. And what I love about mental fitness is simply this. So first, let's define it. Mental fitness is your capacity to respond to life's challenges with a positive rather than negative mindset. Your ability to respond to life's challenges with a positive rather than negative mindset. And what that does is it opens up your world to better performance, peace of mind and wellness, and healthier relationships. So what does that really mean? With positive intelligence and mental fitness, and just let's take a step back this morning and talk about personal development. Every generation, or I'll say every 10 to 15 years, just short of a generation, there are new developments and new insights into how to shift human performance, human behavior, and of course, technology and medical advances. So now that we're able to map the brain and see changes, we're able to create methods to help shift habits and help people optimize performance. So when we say rewire, we literally mean make a shift. How can you make a shift in how you view things? So I invite you all to go to positiveintelligence.com if you haven't already. Click on the Saboteur link and take a free assessment. So through research, Shirzad Chamine at Stanford University, who wrote the book Positive Intelligence back in 2011, had discovered that all humans, we have these emotional blocks. We call them saboteurs. The overriding one is the judge. So what does the judge do? The judge right now is saying, oh, why are you listening to a new webinar? Why do you want to change? This won't work. It's not going to happen. You'll be wasting your time and effort, or even money. Well, I'm here to tell you that through 25 years of factor analysis, this process works. So over 500,000 participants from 30 different countries, hundreds of CEOs and executive teams, world-class athletes have participated in positive intelligence or mental fitness training and coaching. It makes a shift in how you view the world. It makes a shift in how you respond to curveballs. And through daily practice, just 2 minutes at a time, 4 times a day over 6 weeks. So 4 times a day, 2 minutes, you will be able to practice how to overcome these emotional saboteurs that we all as humans have developed. So when I looked at my scores, when I went through the program, of course, we all have the judge. So I'm a PhD in clinical psychology. I'm the youngest of 3 brothers in my family, and I have a very high controller score, very high hypervigilance score, and because I'm in mental health, or just because I'm the youngest, or for whatever the reason, a very high pleaser score. So let's just talk about the controller. The controller saboteur has, well, all the saboteurs have a positive and negative impact on us. So the negative side of the controller is things have to be a certain way. Not only do people, events, and processes have to be a certain way, they need to be my way or my way, not the highway. And when things are done different with people close to us or in the workplace, we get frustrated, agitated, and we begin communicating in a negative manner. So learning to use the strengths of controller, offering inputs, advice, guiding, communicating on this might be a way, you're open to more inputs. You're better able to communicate and what I like to call surfing the wave. You're going to go along the ups and downs of communication and relationships at work and at home, and you're able to let go of the negative impact of the controller saboteur. Hypervigilant is less than it needs to be my way or my way. Hypervigilant is the agitation that comes when things aren't done your way. Hypervigilant is it needs to be my way and done precisely to my way. How are things organized? When do they start? How do they function? That hypervigilance leads to struggling for perfection when perfection isn't the goal. Doing it well and improving over time is what the goal might be. Pleaser. What happens with the pleaser saboteur? So with the pleaser saboteur, you want to help others. You want to step up and make their life easier. You want to help others through their problems, issues, obstacles. Yet, what happens? We get disappointed or we get frustrated when people don't automatically ask us what they can do for us. So let's look at this. We're controlling, or I'm a controller, I'm hypervigilant, and I'm a pleaser. And so what occurs in relationships and what occurs in communication is we become highly agitated, frustrated, negative. So I know when I was in high pleaser mode, I was not able to listen to other people's opinion. And I became very angry that people wouldn't help me out when I wanted it. Well, what's the mistake? The mistake is we don't communicate our needs. We don't ask questions. We don't ask for the help we want. And this does not mean we want relationships to be transactional. It's not, I do something for you, you have to do something for me. It is simply put, what we need is to communicate. And when we communicate and we keep asking in different ways and getting a back and forth in communication, we generally can get our needs met. So we can focus on better performance, better communication, better results. And so what happens is we get overridden by these old habits. So the controller strives for control at all costs. This leads to micromanagement and difficulty in trusting others. Now, what's funny for me being in mental health is I myself suffered from this. And after I went through the process of just in 2 weeks, felt a difference in letting go of the micromanagement and trusting that others would follow through when I communicated better. My family communication improved, less tension, less stress, more enjoyable interactions, being present to certain situations with each interaction. And so letting go of the controller really, really optimizes your own performance because you're not stressing, you're not having to do everything on your own. So the pleaser tells you to put others' needs before your own, sacrificing your well-being to gain approval and avoid conflict. And avoid conflict. Well, what happens when we avoid? What happens when we avoid things? It gets bigger, it becomes overwhelming, and it rolls over us in relationships, in finances, in work situations, taking it on head on. So when we communicate, hey, I'd love to do this for you. Do you want my help? Maybe they don't. And those of us in relationships know this. So men and women think and process differently, right? And if you've ever watched a John Gray TEDx talk or read Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, women don't often want us to solve situations, and men are wired to solve issues. So it's hard for us, especially if we pile on top of the pleaser a controller, a hypervigilant, and a judge, critic, or saboteur, to adjust our communication. So what mental fitness does is it allows us to make a shift. And that shift happens very quickly. So what does a saboteur do? It's that negative voice in our head. Leads to self-doubt, lower confidence, lower self-esteem, and you begin to believe situations won't change or you're not capable. And so what happens is we just keep landing on potholes. We keep repeating the same self-sabotage tools or techniques, same family situations over and over and over. So here's what happens. We keep repeating things over and over that we don't want. So how do we make that shift? That's what mental fitness does. It helps us stop that negative self-talk and change how we perceive, how we act, and how we perform or behave. And so let's look at this situation. So family conflict. I had a tough situation where my grandkids were living with us full time with my stepdaughter and son-in-law. Love them to death, but there's increased stressors when we have a big family living in a confined space. And so I was not communicating what I wanted to change or how I'd like things to operate differently. Additionally, I kept repeating the same mistakes in my own performance in doing coaching and training. What mental fitness does is through practicing specific exercises, and this is key, 4 times a day, 2 minutes a day, 7 days a week for 6 weeks, it begins to rewire how you process events, how you act and react. And what mental fitness allows you to do is increase your ability to make better decisions and decrease how we process stress, negative, difficult events. So we intercept the saboteurs by using 5 key processes. We use explore. How do we assess a situation with an open? We empathize with ourselves and others using compassion and understanding. We innovate to create outside the box solutions. We navigate to pick a path that will work with our values, with our goals, and we activate to put that plan into practice. Now, what's this called? So we look at saboteur thinking, stick to our process, stick to the way we know. And what we want to do is let go of that and use sage thinking to motivate through positive emotions rather than responding to a situation. Now, think about this. When we have a stressor, when we have a high impact event, when we get upset, we're responding with stress, anger, frustration. Oh, here we go again. Oh, I know what you're going to say before you're saying it. Mental fitness training does what I know has worked in psychology for hundreds of years. So simply put, you can make a shift in your life, personally and professionally, by doing this. We're going to shift how you think. When you change how you think, your attitude, your thinking about personal and professional relationships, you change your thinking, your attitude shifts, your behavior changes, and your emotions catch up. What I love about mental fitness is this is the next evolution in personal development. This is a way to speed up cognitive behavioral therapy. This is a way to speed up other processes that you've been through with all the gurus in personal development. So here's a key learning point that I'd like you to remember. One key point here is this. Why do we go to a 4-day seminar, change for a couple of weeks, and drift back into old habits and old behaviors? What happens? So what happens is old habits take over. It's hard to make that shift. And here's the point I want to make. Insight. Insight is, oh, I see why I'm doing that. I want to change that. And you get very excited after a 4-day training, a week-long retreat, training for a couple of weeks that, your business owner brought in to help you create a change. What mental fitness does is it takes cognitive behavioral therapy, positive psychology, neuropsychology, and combines them in a way that you can change your attitude and thinking quickly. And by practicing every day, you not only get insight, you get the attitude and behavioral shift you need to keep moving forward. So what I'd love to do is help each of you. Please go to positiveintelligence.com, take the free saboteur assessment, email me at info@drbrianspeaks.com, info@drbrianspeaks.com. And let's schedule a call and discuss your saboteur results and see how it's impacting you positively and negatively. And then we'll just explore, is this a program for you? And here's something I want to emphasize. I personally guarantee the results. So when you go through this 6 weeks process and you practice every day, if you do the work and don't get the results that you and I agree on that you will get, I will reimburse you. So you have no risk. But first, I want to find out, is this the coaching you want? Is this the training you want? Are you tired of repeating the same mistakes over and over and over? Would you like less stress, better performance, better communication? And so what I really want to emphasize here is we overuse the word stress. What happens with stress? With stress, less sleep, worse communication, difficulty with relationships, a focus on reacting and acting through negative emotions, anger, frustration, anxiety, rather than empathy, innovate, activate. And so what you can do is make a permanent shift. When you respond with empathy, innovation, navigation, you surf the wave of change in relationships. Your life gets better. That's how you get to peak performance. That's how you take a step up. So if you decide this program is for you, again, want to emphasize two things. I guarantee the results. One more thing, not just offering you a 6-week program. You and I will go through the 6 weeks program. We coach together in a small group, or if you want individually, once a week, you go through the app. I will give you access to the app for 1 year. So after the 6 weeks is done, we'll meet monthly. We'll do check-ins to make sure you stay on track, because it is hard to shift habits. It's hard to change attitudes. So I'm turning 29 this July. Of course not. I will be 63 July 7th. So it's hard to change years and years and years of ingrained attitude, behaviors, and thinking styles. What mental fitness does is allow you to make a shift in that attitude by literally rewiring. You'll change the blood flow in your brain. At Stanford University, they did MRIs in people through the program, and you can see the change in blood flow. You literally will change so that people, events, stressors, you become the change. You will react differently. You will change how you communicate. Now, here's what happens. When you change, when you make this shift, the people around you at work and at home make the shift. When I went through this program with a group of my friends, 4 other people, we all made shifts in how we communicated at work and at home. Work performance went up, better family relationships, better communication, less stress. What happens when you have less stress? Better health, happier, more fun, achieving the results that you want. So instead of being in reaction mode and dealing with things through stress, anger, and frustration, what happens is we react again with exploring what's going on with an open mind, empathizing with the people around us and ourselves. We let ourselves off the hook. That's where the saboteurs really negatively impact us. We innovate for solutions. We navigate the waves that are coming, and then we activate a plan of action. So again, email me at info@drbryant.speaks. Let's just book a call. No pressure, no obligation. Take the free saboteur assessment, and let's explore how this program can help you make the shift you want and make the rest of 2024 the best 6 months you've had in a while. Now, here's what's great. Let's say you believe, and you might be absolutely doing great. Can you optimize? Can you do better? Do you want to go the next level up? Yes, you can do that through this program and with my help. So let's book a call. Let's talk about how this works. So again, 25 years of research, over 500,000 participants. This is the next evolution in personal development. And again, results are guaranteed. So let's make the shift together. So contact me, info@drbryant.speaks, direct message me on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, and let's just have a chat and see where you're at, because this program is for you. What are your goals? What do you want to achieve? How do you want things to change for you? So thanks for watching this. Thanks for your time. We have a few minutes left. Let's look at questions that are pouring in. So Lisa from New York, question: why is this program different from others I've tried before? Great question, Lisa. So what makes mental fitness different from other programs is the practice of shifting your thinking and attitude towards outside events, shifting how you think and your attitude. And by doing this 4 times a day over 6 weeks, that shift happens. And when you are freed up from a saboteur, stickler, pleaser, judge, hypervigilant, you begin to look at the world differently. And that's what makes this program different. And you can practice it over and over and over to keep making that shift. And what I love about the Positive Intelligence app is after the 6 weeks is over, you choose what areas you want to keep working on a daily focus basis. Again, you'll have access to the app. So thank you, Lisa, for that question. Michael from also Buffalo, New York. We got a lot of New Yorkers in this morning. Michael wants to know, what do you mean about a guarantee? What does that mean? What I mean about a guarantee is, Michael, I get access to the app. So I know if you're doing the exercises. So I'll send you a gentle nudge. Hey, have you practiced your daily focus today? Have you gone into the app to do your 2-minute exercises? And so what will happen is, when you show that you go through the daily exercises and you show up for the weekly coaching in a group, I know you'll get the results you want. If you don't, you and I'll have a separate conversation. And if it's not working for you, I will refund your investment. No problem. I just need you to do the work. That's the only requirement. Now, here's what I know. I've coached 40 people over the last 6 months, and I know all of them have made a shift in their personal and professional lives. You can go to my LinkedIn profile and see some testimonials. Go to positiveintelligence.com. You'll see the testimonials there. So all I'm asking you to do is book an appointment with me and let's have a chat. Maybe this is the program you've been looking for. Couple of more questions have poured in. Steve from Kennewick, Washington. I love that area. Steve wants to know, daily practice, what happens if I miss my practice? Well, it's an app on the phone. So what we ask you to do is, it starts at 7 in the morning, 10 a.m., noon or 1, 3 o'clock, and then you journal some notes in the evening. If you miss that time frame, just go through it. Now, I encourage you not to go through all 4 exercises all at once, but sometimes that happens. So during the day, if you need to go through all 4 exercises, 8 minutes, and then a couple more minutes to journal, that's okay. So any way you want to make the program work, all I ask is you show up for the weekly coaching live. Next question, Mike from Vancouver, British Columbia. Mike, thanks for attending. Mike's question is, what if the saboteurs don't change? What if they're too ingrained? Well, Mike, that's a great question. We all have these saboteurs. So what mental fitness does is it literally helps you shift attitude and behavior. When you shift your attitude about what's happening to you, your behavior changes, your emotions catch up. What I love about mental fitness is your emotions catch up much faster. So I've used this program in my leadership training and coaching. I've used this program with first responders in substance abuse treatment, where we're doing change over just 30 days, a very compact, intense program in substance abuse and PTSD work. And those clients have experienced a shift in how they respond to stressors. So We're just about out of time. Thank you for joining me. You can direct message me or email me. I'd love to help you change and make a shift, or just explore if this is the program for you. And what I promise you is if it doesn't seem to be a fit for you, I can refer you to some other people. So let's just have a conversation. Thanks for your time. Have a great Sunday. And I will also be repeating this at 2 p.m. Pacific time today. Have a great day.